17 years ago today, Americans watched as a terrorist attack was carried out on the Twin Towers in New York City, where thousands of lives were lost. But tonight, the Now Bakersfield's Tori Cooper shadowed a local history class to watch as junior high students revisited the tragic day through a virtual reality experience in their classroom. Tori?
Jessica, even though the Stone Creek Junior High School students I spoke to today were not alive during September 11th, today they traveled back to New York City using these goggles and their history textbooks to get a feel for what it was really like on September 11th, 17 years ago.
All right, here we go. I'm going to start this video.
Stone Creek students took a trip back in time.
Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil, despicable acts of terror. The pictures of airplanes flying into buildings, fires burning, huge structures collapsing, have filled us with disbelief, terrible sadness, and a quiet, unyielding anger. These acts of mass murder were intended to frighten our nation into chaos and retreat.
History teacher Dustin Maxey.
And it's a day where we need to recognize those people and let us never forget those people. We should always remember.
Doing his best to bring September 11th alive for students who were not around during the time of terror. But now, 17 years later, his students like 7th grader Taylor Willman can better understand the gravity of what happened.
It was just unbelievably sad.
On that day that impacted innocent Americans and their families left behind.
246 people boarded their morning flight. 2,606 people went to work up in the Twin Towers. 343 firefighters went to work that day in New York. 60 police officers and 8 paramedics. And all of those people, they passed away that day.
Willman and her classmates listening to the speech former President James W. Bush gave following the attack.
The search is underway for those who are behind these evil acts.
While Maxey instructed students to take notes on the primary and secondary sources that were used during the video.
The primary sources are an account of an event created by someone who took part in or witnessed an event.
Perfect.
Helping students understand how to interpret moments like September 11th from relevant historical sources like video footage, journals, pictures, and more. But Maxey also wanted students to feel the magnitude of the aftermath, so he used these virtual reality goggles to transport students from their classroom chairs to the 9/11 Ground Zero Memorial for the first time with the help of the Google Expedition application.
It was cool being able to see the memorial and not actually have to go there. It felt like you were actually there, and it felt like you could walk in it.
Maxey's September 11th lesson plan, sticking with students.
And be kind and respectful to all the people who lost their lives that day.
And the memory of those lost,
seeing all those people, all their names on there.
Forever remembered by students.
Without a doubt, the classroom had a somber emotion throughout the class session, but the history teacher made sure to ensure students that our government continues to go above and beyond to make sure a tragedy like this does not reoccur on U.S. soil. And if you would like to visit Ground Zero virtually like the Stone Creek history class, just head to our website, turnto23.com. For the Now Bakersfield, I'm Tori Cooper, 23 ABC.